This is Jason's Electronics Repair. Welcome to my ER. How is everyone doing today? We are just ready to go here. David, how you doing? I see you're in chat. I see we peaked up to 6 while I had the starting soon screen on, and then it dropped. So I dipped in a little bit earlier than I had planned to. Let's go to the overhead camera. I got the web camera on. Hello, how you doing? Got my hand gloves on. They're a little bit angry today, so I just need to adjust this camera. Did not do this beforehand. There we go. Let's get that camera adjusted, and we are good to go. So I got some stuff. I got the rest of my stuff, my tools. Man, there's a hump in the tile floor and the wheel of the chair. Man, does that not get stuck on that thing? Jerk that chair so many times. It's so annoying. All right. So I got the rest of the AliExpress stuff. We're going to do some tests. I've been waiting on some of the tools that are in there to do some tests. I was doing some tests yesterday. We're going to do a little comparison, picking some underfill on a iPhone 6 Plus, maybe 6S. That's not important. So let's go ahead and get started on opening this stuff here. The WizPods, new viewer from Phil, get the Coders channel from his previous stream. Yeah, hope you like it. I'm more of a vlogging. This is my journey into learning electronics repair. I have a background in engineering and electronics in the design aspect of DC to DC conversions and converting CNC boards and things like that. I've done that for 20 years. I'm retired now, and so I decided to use that knowledge to fix some electronics. The information I have down, but the technique and stuff with the soldering and the reworking is not 100% new to me, but it's challenging, especially on stuff like phones, and switches aren't as bad once you work on a phone. So this is from AliExpress. This was ordered about 70 days ago, and it should be Kingbo Flux. Yep, 5 tubes of Kingbo Flux. Now, this isn't my go-to flux for BGA work. This is my general purpose component flux that I use for general purpose stuff. I use ChipQuick SMD 291 for BGA work and reballing and things like that. I use this ChipQuick. Well, reballing, I tend to use the Kingbo, but anywhere that it might be possible that it stays on the board for, I can't get it all the way clean, I will use the ChipQuick. But if I can clean the board and I'm not reflowing a chip that's BGA, I will use the Kingbo Flux. So I'm going to put this away right away so that I don't get a huge mess and become in disarray and then have to quit because I'm ill. Hey Phil, how's it going? So this one is another tool for phone work. I'm hoping to get a package of phones soon from a fantastic viewer. Let's see what we have here. So we got more bubble wrap. I could always use bubble wrap when I send things out. I save all this stuff. So I save all this bubble wrap, and this is what got me in trouble before, was I didn't put up the bubble wrap. So I will put the bubble wrap up. You see me rolling it up here. I will put that in bubble wrap storage. So this is a iBoot and AD Max from Mechanic. It's similar to a boot box, but it does it just provides power. It doesn't have the boot function. So I got this with the other one. It was like you buy one, you get like $4 or $5 off the other one, and this one has Android and iPhone on it. So we'll take a look at it here. So, oh, okay. So it's a nice little bag. So here's what we got. We got the leads that plug into the power supply. They're pretty long, they'll reach. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cables. So I like it that one has alligator clips. And then we have 3 on here that look like Android. Yeah. These all look like Android there. Let's take a look at this one here. So IP11. Okay, so that's iPhone Pro Max. Plus 8 to 11. I don't know if that's the iPhone. So these are going to be more Android. I think the Apple ones are in the blue. So we have 6, 6 Plus, 6S Plus. There's that alarm right in my ear. Scare the crap out of me like always. So then we have 7 regular and 7 Plus. And then we have more of the Android ones. A lot of Android ones on here. So that's always good. So that is this, let's see, what is it called? Power boot cable. So let's see what we got in chat here. Yeah, I reuse bubble wrap, of course. Who doesn't reuse bubble wrap? Yeah, it's always good. I mean, I think whether, if you're learning the whole entire time or you're just learning one little tip, I think it's worth the effort. I watch a lot of channels. I don't learn anything, but I still watch it. I watch stuff over again, just for the entertainment value. Diego, how's it going? Oh, you had to put a 3-year-old. Yeah, 3-year-olds are a little rambunctious. My son is 13, and I have a 3-year-old granddaughter. She's coming next week, so I'm gonna have fun with that. So next week's gonna be a little bit of dead on work because 3-year-old will wear you out, especially at my age. So yeah, definitely reuse bubble wrap, especially the AliExpress stuff comes with a lot of bubble wrap. So Diego, I think I said hello. Good morning. It's morning here. It's 7 a.m. So now here is the bigger package. This is what I was waiting for. This stuff showed up yesterday. I was hoping it was going to show up on Saturday and I could have done this stream. One day I'm going to get new scissors. These used to be the best scissors ever. And now they're garbage. All right, so we got that. We got a variety of things here. So let's move this stuff up here and we'll start doing some of these little ones. We'll do the box first here. So let's see what we got here. It's like they all use the same boxes and the same generic tape. So I think this is the Hot Stone. Not 100% sure why I ordered this, but I did. It is a glue removal item for like CPUs and RAMs and stuff for the iPod, iPhone. Wow, can you get that out? Yeah, they're never going to run out of bubble wrap. So this is a little Hot Stone. It's got a power cable with a switch. We're not going to be testing this today. We don't have a CPU to rip off, but I do plan on taking off a NAND later to see what that's like, to see how that underfill works. But it's got a bunch of different combinations to hold the chip in there. It's also got a part for doing the fingerprint sensors. So nice little one-way plug. So not a bad little item. It wasn't very expensive. A lot of this Mega Ideas Qian Li, it's listed as Qian Li, but it's Mega Ideas, but then I see that it's the same company. So we'll see. I also got some like eye socket type items from Mega Ideas, and I'm going to see if they're any good. So that's that. We're just going to put that up there because we're not going to mess with that. Let's see here. Let's This is going to be an interesting chip for the Switch, I believe. All one salad with millions of identities. Yeah, I believe it. Clean as we go. So this should be LCD drivers for, nope, this is stencils, never mind. Okay, so this is stencils for the eMMC for the NAND for the Nintendo Switch. A bunch of different configurations, so they are freaking tiny. They looked way bigger in the picture, so it's got different pitches. They're supposed to be direct heat. I don't see these working real well, but we're gonna have to test them out and see how they go. So yeah, that's some tiny stencils. Put that in the stencil drawer. All right, in the stencil drawer. Put it away as I go. All right, so let's see what this is. Last time I opened a bunch of stuff, I got overwhelmed. So this is a pair of tweezers, Mechanic brand tweezers. Let's check a look at these here. They're longer. That's what I was looking for, a long pair of tweezers. This might be my reballing tweezers here. Let's have a look at these. Let's go to the microscope here. Microscope. So there we go. That's what they look like. So pretty tiny. They got a wide grip on them. Here's a capacitor there. So that's a 0602. So they're not bad. Always a sucker for tweezers. They were cheap. I got some teenies coming on. Ineasies, whatever they are, from Kyon Lee. Try those too. So we got some tweezers. Forgot about those. So I got a sensor for the scope for when I pull it forward. It switches the scene, but I can't get it to work. Tweezers look hotter than me. So, yep, so we got tweezers. Put those away. Might play with those later. Let's see here. Looking for those chips. They better have sent them. Oh, this might be the chips. Okay, so should have labeled this stream Old Dude Battles Bubble Wrap. Okay, so these are Nintendo Switch LCD driver ICs. So we'll go ahead and get this open here. You know we're going to label and put them away. Don't you worry about that. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these on the scope here. Scoop. Okay, so that is it right there. I can zoom in on that. So there it is right there. 8316, it's the LCD driver. Got one of those. What, I got one of what? What is that? Plot twist. Oh, is that the you talking about the tweezers that you like? Yeah, they looked pretty cool. I was gonna get some of those, but I'm sure that's what you're talking about. But yeah, these are LCD driver for the Nintendo Switch. Not a real common component, but I have one with what I believe is a bad LCD driver. So I'm going to change it and we're going to find out if it's a bad LCD driver. So if it is, then we know that that is an issue. If it's not, I have LCD drivers for who knows what, corrosion, whatever. Who really knows? So let's do NS LCD driver 8316. I just write a temporary label, and then I will do a temporary label, and then I'll make a label for it. I'm not going to put you through the punishing process of me making labels, more so than I have already. Okay, so I'm going to cut these down so they fit. So there we go, LCD drivers. These didn't take too long to get. If you email me, I can send you links to any of this stuff. If you guys want links to it. So that's the only component that we're going to have to label like that. Yeah, I did a comparison video on some tweezers, but the audio is really messed up. I might do it over now that I have. If I do get tweezers from Phil, I will do a comparison video of the tweezers working on different things like a switch, phone. We'll do different things like that. So, all right. So that's my components. Let's see what we have in here. All right. Okay, so this is my Q-On Lee glue removal tools. So there's a little blade tool here, a hook tool, and then, well, these handles are cool, and then a photo etch sheet of different tools. So I'm going to, we're going to check these out. We're going to do some comparisons with these, with another one that I have, and see if we can find the best tip. So we'll put that aside and we'll open this here. So, this kind of got some weight to it. I'm wondering what is in here. Oh, stencils. This is just stencils. Just cheap stencils. It was $1.97 for just a pile of stencils. And a nice little card for cutting adhesive. That's not bad. A little freebie. Yeah, these got iPads on it. Stencils. I got iPad stencils just to have. So these big long ones I think are iPads. They could not be good. Who knows? There's XS on here. Yeah, it's just a smorgasbord of stencils. Save that foam too. So, not going to practice. Not going to use any of these today, but we can take a look and see what's in here. Okay, so what do we got here? We got iPhone 8 Plus. It's got a lot of components on it. Pretty flimsy. Okay, so 8 Plus, iPhone 8. We have iPhone 7 Plus, 7, SE, 6S Plus, 6S, iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus. Then we have 5S. I think that was one of the reasons I needed this, was I needed a 5S one. So iPhone 5C, iPhone 5, 4S, 4, wow, iPhone 4. And then we got 10, iPhone 10 XS, iPhone 10 XR, XS Max. Well, I can't speak. Then we have X11 Max, 11 Pro, and iPad, iPhone, iBeam iPad. So that one I got for iPad and the 5S stuff. So I know you said you were sending me some stencils, Phil, but these could suck, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. So $1.97 is I added it on from something else I got from a seller. So, all right. So let us, first off, now that I opened all that, I need to change my blade. Now I use a Swan Morton scalpel handle, and then I use the 10A blade. As you can see there, it's kind of like an 11, but a little wider. These were always nice, and I always use the remover to take it off. So it comes off real handy, and then it stores it, and then you can just throw that away safely. So not a fan of putting these on. Try to put it off to the last minute. So at least if I bought the sterile ones, I would, if I got cut, it would be safe. Just gonna use a pair of pliers here. There we go. Brand new scalpel blade ready to cut me up. So I'm in the camp that a sharp scalpel is safer than a dull scalpel. So because a dull scalpel will tear, and a sharp scalpel will just like cut you. So use that blade away from me. And let's see. Let's pick up on chat here. Okay, so Pump Rat Factory. Like those trolls that don't understand the process. Yeah, I think the PS5 thing was fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I'll do a comparison video. How much did I pay everything? Well, all that stuff right there came separately. I think that order was like $76. These 3 tools right here came in a set, I think was $28. The hot stone was like $17. Stencils were $1.97. And then I ordered a bunch of stuff. A lot of stuff was opened in another stream before that. So it's hard to judge how much everything was individually or together. It wasn't cheap. It was everything with the boot boxes. I got a iBoot, a regular boot box, a stand, a preheater, the preheater controller, tools, a bunch of stuff, and it was like $360. I think I got a lot more stuff that I opened in other streams. I don't have it to hand. So let's take a look at these glue removal tools. So this is the mechanic handle here. So this is the, we're going to lose me so I don't distract you. A Micro Repairs, Forzinho. Froze. I'm just going to call you Froze. Hello, how you doing? I'm a butcher of names. I apologize for that. So this is a mechanic handle, and it came with these 2 sheets of these thin type tools. And then it also came with this hook. I'm going to call him Hooky. And then this is a weird looking one that looks like a bird. This one looks like a bird. I call this Lemur. So this one is a little wide, and I knocked a bunch of components off using it, so it may take some time to use. Both those, the hook one was the best of those 2, and then I found this one here that that is got this style hook on it, and it's a lot thinner, so it's a little more flimsy. but it's definitely a lot thinner, and it seemed to work better and not knock stuff off. So I got this. I just want to pop these out here. I actually have a photo etch cutter that's designed for taking photo etch out, but I don't feel like getting it out. I say that every time I need to do something with photo etch. So I'm going to put all the hook ones in one slot here. I'm going to put all the chip lifty ones in another slot. So these are all like chip lifty ones. So, I mean, they're pretty thin. They do look like they would get into a spot there. So, but I definitely want to try these. I used one for lifting a Switch CPU. It worked, but it was more operator error than anything with the way I used it. So I'm just going to get these out here. So you can see all the different ones that are in here. I see this one being used a lot. On like Rescue, the Apple Doctor, his old channel. Rescue, I see Ben use that a lot. Scraper type tool. So I was just going to leave all these on there, but I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. So I used to work with this photo etch all the time in scale models. I still do. I still do scale models, but I'm just trying to start the business, and it takes up a lot of time. So we got those. They work pretty good. We're going to look at that under the microscope here in a second, but I want to look at the hook tool from Huion Lee here. So let's see here. I like that this comes with 3, but I didn't see anywhere on AliExpress where you could buy just the blades. I mean, I could have missed it, but I couldn't find anything where you could just buy the blades. You had to buy a whole new handle. But I mean, multiple handles wouldn't be bad. Feels good. It's got nice grip on it. I don't know how that would feel over time compared to the knurled, just the knurled one. This is like, say, I wouldn't say fluted. I don't know what you would call that, but it's kind of angled. So I like the fact that they have weight. They don't feel light and cheap like a X-Acto knife handle blade would feel. So they do feel nice. This hook tool is way thinner than the mechanic one. Let's take a look at that. Let's put those in there. Let's get the hook tool out from the mechanic one. Let's get that one out. Let's put that one away. Let's put the mechanic one in. We'll take a look at it under the scoop. And we'll actually use it to remove some underfill. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, that was weird. All right, so that one's in there. So we got that one. Nice little tool, hooky. We'll take a link to that, to this right here, this tool. Yeah, we'll take a look in a second. Let me just pull that up. Now you can buy just the one, or you can get all 3 here. You know, I have one of these thumb drives that logs me into everything on the computer, but for some reason it won't do it for AliExpress. I have to actually manually sign in. It stores the password on the thumb drive, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Very strange. Okay, so copy. To the knife, the Swan Morton thing. You're talking about this? I got this on Amazon. I don't have a link. I bought this years ago. I got that years and years ago. That is like a scale modeler's best friend. Those scalpel blades. All right, so let's put the other hooky in here, um, in this holder here. We got hooky 1 and hooky 2. We're going to look at them under the scope here. Now, I was working without the Barlow lens yesterday, and it was a little too low, and with the Barlow lens, it was a little too high. So I put the Barlow back on for the purpose of the video. I have a 0.7x. I'm going to see how that works out. Let's get the scope up here. Okay, so we got the scope. So here are the different blades. So here are the different. So looks like a knife, so it's a knife. Is that what we're calling? Well, all those tools. Hey, John, how's it going? All these tools are from that one link. Has all the It's either you buy all three or you can buy them individually. So here is this one is the Kyon Lee, the new one right here. If you see how thin that is compared to this one here, this one's a little bit thicker, so there is a difference in thickness. And I think that's going to matter when you're trying to get in between underfill of a chip. Yeah, this is going to be hooky a lot. This is my new favorite tool. I was using this one yesterday. I spent a good amount of time under the microscope messing with an iPhone 6s. Not trying to fix it, just practicing different techniques. And that bird tool, Limu, he did an awful job. He did a great job on like open areas, but this tool, hooky here, went in there and did some good stuff. But that other one, that real thin one, did the best. But I think that this one being thinner is going to be the way to go. So let's look at this one real quick while we're here. See this one right here? This is the hockey stick. I'm calling this one Sticky. So my wife helped name these guys. So we love children, so we say weird things. So this is the hockey stick one. Open that one here in a bit. So let's see what we can do here. Let me grab this preheater board here. Grab this preheater. Okay, I don't like that. All right. I wish that cord was like a little bit longer. I'm going to get out an iPhone 6s here. We'll put it on this preheater. I like the preheater over the hot air just because. So, like I said, I like it. So, all right, if we come over here and we look at, see, with the Barlow lens, I can zoom in, but you really don't get the full depth of what you need to do to remove the glue. So we're going to go into right there. Let me focus up my eyepieces. See, now if you look here, all right, let me show you. Let me put on the webcam. And of course, the webcam is behind everything. I put the webcam up, and you see like my chair all the way up and banging my knee on the drawer underneath the bench. Um, I'm a little bit high for my back, so I think I need a and the no Barlow one's a little bit low, so it's just like about a half inch lower. But I can work at this for what I'm going to test here. So I'm going to turn this preheater on. This is going to be set for 105 because it seems to work the best. So I'm going to take off the webcam now. While you're doing that, I would like to work on a PS3 just for the fun of it. Stay hydrated. So this is almost preheated. I could probably start now. I gotta find a spot for that preheater because the cord is so short on it that I can't get it to where I need it to be on my desk in order for me to work on it. So I'm actually gonna have to move the scope back a little bit. So if I come in here with this is the mechanics hook tool, and you see here I can peel this up, no problem, right? But the width of it is too wide to get in between the components. As you can see what I'm saying here. If I come in here like this, see, it's too wide to get in between the components. It's just way too wide. So, if I come in here and I just clear this right in this area here, I can pick that off no problem, but getting in the stuff on top, I can get off. But getting in between the components it's just too wide for that. Now this is the Q-on Lee one, and you can see it's quite a bit thinner at the tip. So that hot plate's hot, by the way. So I can actually get in between the components like so. So I can actually, I'm a big fan of the right tool for the job, and this seems like the right tool. So come in here, this out. So, I'm pretty sure this would cut into the PCB if I press too hard. I could probably go a little bit up on my temperature a little bit. Knock this out here. So it cleans it up. So I knew this tool was going to be better. I can't take credit for finding this tool. STS Telecom, Jason, I see him using it in his more recent videos, and that's what made me want to get this one over the mechanic one. I've seen other people use the mechanic one, and I got it, and then I keep seeing Jason use the Q-on Lee one, and it I mainly got it because he uses this hockey stick one. He uses the hockey stick one to clear away underfill under like NAND and stuff, and I was like, okay. And then I saw that all three of them were in a bundle, so. And then I use one of these mascara brushes and a little bit of board cleaner here just to clear away the debris. it's a lot softer than a toothbrush, and it just cleans that away right there. So, okay, so you had, all right, let's catch up on chat. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's quite relaxing to sit there and pick that stuff away, trying to do it. I'm not one to show off, and I make mistakes, and I'll show you what I did yesterday testing different tools and why I'm practicing. And if I come over to this area here, you can see um, Limu did this right here. I came in here with Limu, and he took off this component, this component, this component, and then I came down this side, and he took off this one and that one. So yeah, he took off all those, and then the other hook tool took off. One of these is no stuff, but the other hook tool took off that one. So I didn't have these tools, so I was just practicing with what I had. So yeah, so it's this, I can actually get in here and go over some stuff that I missed with the other tool on this end. So, but oh yeah, there's another one I took off up here. Can you see that? That. Oh, right here. Took that off with the hook tool, hooky. So, yeah, so I think the Q-on Lee one's going to be better. And like you can also use it because I'm going to play around with some of these and some of the ones that Phil's sending me. Just pulling CPUs just to get some practice pulling big chips without pulling pads. But I'd much rather pull a pad and fix it than break a PS5. Can you believe some of that? You actually think, you imagine if someone tried to replace the SSD on a PlayStation 5 and they broke it because they wouldn't listen to somebody on how to put it in safe mode? I'm telling you, how crazy would that be? So yeah, so wow, that seems like, yeah, I would have to seriously zoom in for that. Let's see here. Wow, that is. Let's see if I can get that into focus for you. That is insane. Let's see if I can. I mean, you have to be like no angle at all to clear that away. So that's going to be interesting. All right. Just for good measures, let's look at Limu because he was my favorite tool until he failed me. So let's look at Limu. If you guys don't know who Limu is, we have a car insurance company here called Liberty Mutual. And they have this 70s, 80s cop dude that works with a Limu as his partner. And his name is Limu, the Emu, and Doug. Doug is and they sell people car insurance, but they're hilarious. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Hey, wow, micro major repair. Oh, dude, I sent you a message this morning, and I'm deeply sorry for that. Micro major repair. I sent you a message that was intended for Phil, and I went on the computer and didn't see that the name switched. So let's look at, let's go back out here, and we'll look at Limu. So this is Limu here, and as you can see, he is going to be too big. So as you can see here, he is way too big to be digging in here and getting components off. Yeah, he's just way too big. Yeah, just way too much. So he is a cool tool. I don't know what I could use him for, but I might find a use for him for something. He is cool looking. So when I first got these, when I first got the mechanic set, I was like, "Wow, this is awesome!" And I used a tip for flipping the CPU of a Nintendo Switch off. and worked great. And I was like real excited about that. So I was gonna order another mechanic set, but then I saw that uh, Jason from STS was using the Q on Lee ones, and I found the blade, the little hockey sticky, this little hockey stick here, and this is what I mainly wanted. But then I saw that you get a 3-pack with hooky, and so yeah, so I bought it. So let's take a look at sticky here. Well, this one doesn't have an easy open thing. Oh, I guess it is easy open, my bad. So, all right, trash can's full. It's gonna bug me. So this is pretty thin too. Let's look at it under the scope. Put it in the handle here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one under the scope too. Where's it at? So there it is right there. So, you know, looks huge on the microscope, but, you know, it's got a thin little blade on it. So I see them peeling up like underfill on NAND and stuff, and then I see other people using it for CPU work, for getting that underfill off. So I'm excited to try this one. I'm not trying this one on the stream. I don't really have anything to try it on at the moment. So we'll put these up in there. And now, you know, I got 2 handles, well, 3 handles, because I have the other set of flipping tools here. Let's go ahead and just take a look at this here. Well, this one's got the open on the back part. So I'm thinking this one's just going to be like the other flipping tools. Yep, defeated by a package. Oh. I hope it's not one of those days. All right. There we go. And what time is it? Almost time for school to start. I don't need to go when school starts. I just need to make sure he gets into school. So this one is little flipper tools, some hook tools, pretty similar to what's on the mechanic set. So these seem to be a lot more on there. So let's just pop these off here. You have to be careful. This stuff is really thin. And I'm probably going to use a different container for all this stuff. This is just what I had at hand. I don't want them to get all bent up, so I'm just using... I think I used one of these little flipper things for pulling the NAND on a switch. So, all right, so we're going to get to doing something here in a minute, other than scraping underfill. So, by losing like, 17 viewers. Wow, thank you guys. Appreciate it. So 5 likes. So my streams are getting better, thanks to Phil mainly. He gets a lot of people over. So I'm hoping my Learn to Fix Phone series does pretty good. You know, it's not it's a learning process. I mean, like, I know the basics of reading schematics and finding faults and stuff, but you know, micro soldering, that is, you know, that is something that comes with practice, not I mean, you can know how to solder and you can know the answer, but it's a lot about feeling and um, understanding the heat and what's happening on the board. Like I use flux as an identifier um, on mine, and I can't, if I need to know exactly when something's going to go, I have to use chip quick flux because I know exactly how the properties of chip quick flux works. And I didn't just, oh, I know how it works. I use that stuff for years at work. And have you ever worked with TV diodes? Do they induce noise in the circuit? The only thing that's going to induce noise to your circuit is your switch mode power supply. Yeah, switch mode power supply. A TV diode is not gonna the diodes on a TV, like your ESD diodes, are going to be mainly for ESD suppression, and they're not going to introduce a bunch of noise. Now, bad caps, bad EMI filters, things like that. Yeah, that can make a very noisy power supply. You can even get that on the LED board. Sometimes the LED drivers, if it's an LED TV, they can be noisy. Even if the power supply is clean, they can reintroduce some noise. So yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, it's not too hard to clean up the noise on the TV. It really depends on the power supply board, because you can get a good one that doesn't have very much noise, and then you can get really noisy power boards. And if you know your power board's clean, I would check the LED driver board. I would check the backlight driver for noise, because that DC to DC converter, that boost circuit, that's going to boost up the voltage for just backlight. That's going to introduce some noise. You have a chance to getting noise anytime you change a DC voltage. So if you rectify the voltage and you smooth it with your smoothing caps on your input and your output, and you have perfect, DC power. If you then take that voltage and you run it through some kind of switch mode conversion where you have a MOSFET flipping on and off rapidly, you're reintroducing noise to the circuit. So either you're stepping up a voltage or stepping down a voltage through a switch mode circuitry, you are going to induce noise. Same thing if you start using inductance, you're going to get an inherent amount of noise. Depending on what the noise looks like, it could matter and it could possibly not matter. I don't have a spectrum analyzer, so I couldn't really fully examine the noise. I would have to see what the carrier frequency of the noise is and where it peaks at. And you could design a low pass or a high pass filter to filter that noise out, or you could actually find it on the schematic and see where it's failing. But without knowing the specific parameters of the noise, there's no way to just point someone in a direction. So went all technical there. All right, so let's check something out here. Just on a whim here. Let me find a switch. Just on a whim here. Let's pull this bad boy out. Let's take this chip off of here. This is the NAND for a switch. All right. Let's see here. Let's see if I have something to put that in. Oh, look at that. Perfect fit. So there we go. We got that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Just kidding. We're going to do something. All right. Let me get set up here. And we are going to need hot air. And we are going to do our hot air at, not at 480. We're going to do 330. 330 at about 25 out of 120. I want to do 30 out of 120. Okay, then we're going to turn on our FX 951 station with our Hako 2027 handle with probably the wrong tip, but we're going to go with it because I already turned on the station. So I'm going to get me some solder wick here, and we are going to go under the scope. We're going to go under the scopy. Scope tab. Oh, I can call it Scopy. I have all the tools now. They all have an E at the end of it. Okay. It's weird that chat died. Okay. Jason.tv's. Oh. Oh, my bad. Yeah. So I thought you were talking about ESD diodes on a TV. Oh, wow. I went on a whole rant on that. My bad. Oops. That's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, I'd have to reread the paperwork on it. I mean, it depends. If you have a data sheet, I could. Wow, I just went on the whole thing there. All right, so we have a chip here. We're gonna get said chip in focus. Let's hopefully get said chip in focus. I can go in a little bit further. All right, let me see if I'm in focus here. I am. All right, so we are gonna flood this with leaded SATA. I'm pretty sure it still has, I still haven't got rid of this flux yet. So this is some cheap fake stuff that someone swore was not fake, and they lied to me, and then they didn't want to own up to it, and then they harassed a bunch of people on their YouTube channels. So I don't buy anything from them anymore. I don't care if they're the only ones that sell it. All right, so we're gonna clean this up. Hey guys, if you had a case, there's space for a component on the board that's missing. Not normally. Normally a no stuff is a no stuff, but I guess, I mean, it could have been knocked off and it doesn't look like it was knocked off. So. Oh, the scope is really too high. And I'm not dragging the pads, I'm just rolling the solder ball across these pads to mix leaded into the unleaded that was on the board so I can wick it away easier. All right, so we're going to take my chem wick here that I sent Phil that he used with bad solder, and now he refuses to use it again because he thinks it's awful. Still even still here. Did he have to go? Okay, let's see what we got here. Number one, that was critical, differently big sometimes. Yeah, that's true, Michael. That. Yeah, I mean, it could be something that was added to compensate for a different part of the board, and that part failed, and then now that part you put on like reestablished the fault. I mean, I could see that being an issue. I would say that's super rare. I wouldn't say that would be a thing that to look for, but I could see that being an issue. So I'm just lightly brushing this across the pads here. Okay, that's nice and clean. We're going to come in here with a Q-tip and some cleaner. And that chip spot's almost a perfect fit. And this is an eye pinch vise. I got this on eBay, but you can get it on AliExpress. I wanted it quick. Wow, what is going on? I have to lock that down. All right, so that's clean. We're going to turn off the fume extractor because I'm sure that's wrecking my audio. All right, let's see if we can find a stencil, and then we'll back out. Working and listening, yeah. You didn't say anything when I told you on the PS5, so I thought you weren't here. All right, so we have a bunch of different stencils here. Let's zoom out for this. So let's zoom out. So let's see here. Here's the first one. This one is pain in the butt. This one is 0.3 millimeter. This is going to be interesting. So first, let's figure out which way it's going to go. So actually, that one looks like a win. That one looks like a win right away. Are they all the same? Like they're one-time use, and it's like they are all the same stencil. Why would they send me a bunch of the same stencil? What? Yeah, they're all exactly the same. Well, I'm glad it's the right one. I thought it was a variety pack. Like one-time use, you solder it down and it stays on permanently. That is weird. So yeah, they're all the same stencil, so we don't have to find the right one. At least it's the right one. Wow, that was something. That was interesting. So this is going to be something here. So move that out of there. Clean up my vise here. All right, so I'm going to get some Kapton tape here. Cut me off a piece. Cut me off a piece of that Kapton tape. All right, just a couple switches. Hey, RB King, how's it going? Okay, that's good. I didn't turn it on high either. Try not to turn it on high because it's so annoying. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple pieces of Kapton tape stuck to my bench. Okay, so we got that clean. We're going to come back on here with this stencil here. And we're going to line it up. Line it up. Get our piece of Kapton tape. Put the Kapton tape down. Right like that. Right there, just like that. I'm going to come over here. I'm whispering because I'm serious, in serious mode. Put that down right there like that. That just seems like it's a smidge off. Could be the angle I'm looking at. That look a smidge off. Wow, that's like blinding you guys. Turn that light down. Yeah. So the camera adjusts for the light no matter the intensity and makes it horrible. Um, I think I think if he puts that SD back on there, the SSD back on that PlayStation 5, it'll definitely work again in its original state. He says you need to change them all. I think it needs to be some kind of uh, firmware update that they need to tell us about that's not safe mode. Like a way to make it boot from USB or something so that you can reformat the partitions on the SSD. That's what I think on it. And then that way you'd be able to do one or two. And with right to repair in your guys in Britain, I would say, or the UK, I don't know what you guys prefer. I would say you should be able to have the right to get that information of why is it allowed? Like, how are we able to change the SSD memory on this PlayStation 5? We want to just change one chip because the cost of changing all 6 chips would be pretty high. It would be pretty expensive, I would think, anyways. So, I'm not sure. And the amount of work that it would take to do that, to change that many. See, I have to turn that light up. That light is, I don't know why it's blinding you. Okay, so I can hold that down. Yeah, I like these tweezers. I can hold that down pretty nice. Okay, so we are going to get some paste that is extremely too wet. It's super wet paste, but it's fine. I just feel bad that Hooky can't come here and play. So I got my super wet paste. I'm going to get one of these tools out to spread it. That's what I'm going to do. Hold on. I need to mute this audio real quick. Sorry about that. I had to get my son and make sure he goes to class. He's doing the online school for one more year, actually. He's doing so well. He's got straight A's. He's learning all the material. So we're gonna let him do it again. He wants to do it again. So we are going to let him. It was a hard decision for us to see if we were going to let him do this again because we were big fans of him having social interaction because basically I don't want him turning out like me because I wasn't socially interactive, but but he's doing so well, and we're not a big fan of the middle school that he was assigned to, so we like the high school that he's going to, so we're just going to let him finish middle school at home. That is the wrong tool for this job. Whatever. I'm going to heat this up extremely slowly. All right, so all right, so all right, what do we got here? Yeah, public schools are horrible. Soldering iron. Hey, hey, Flowizzy. How's it going? You prefer England? Okay, I can call it England, whatever. It's fine. I'd rather say whatever you guys prefer. I think that's rude to call things by what they don't prefer. Um, okay, so we have now. Who wants to take bets on this working night? Come on, people. Let's put it in there. Yeah, he's actually he's very interested in learning this business. This summer, he's going to learn to take apart switches and do some switch stuff. And he's going to do my check-in, my thumbnails. He likes doing the graphic stuff, so he's going to be doing my thumbnails and things like that. So, all right. So I got 330 on the hot air station, the quick 861 DW at 30% or 30 at a 120. I have a pair of mechanic brand new tweezers, and I have hot air. I'm not seeing any bets placed on how bad I screw this up. So here we go. Oh, I got the wrong nozzle. Seriously? Wow, nobody called the wrong nozzle, huh? He's got to have the wrong nozzle on there. Call that. I know, I was just working on a phone. Okay, so come in here, put on some fume extraction. Okay, so we are going to slowly warm this area up here. And I want that solder paste to dry out. Slowly warm this up. I'm only using 330 because I want it to warm up slowly. I don't want it to, all this stuff to pop out. So, I don't do a lot of reballs. So, it's my first time reballing one of these chips. Okay, take away the hot air. Let it solidify. All right, let that cool down for a bit. So, wow, oh my God, was that out of focus the whole time? Oh, well, that's about as focus as it's going to get. So, $5 on what? Did I do it? Yeah, he has a drone. Here, we'll let this cool down. Hold on one second. Let me dump this. Move this scope here. Move the fume extractor out. We'll let this sit over here. I'm gonna be back in 1 second. So this was right here. So I just figured I'd grab it. So I introduced these about a year and a half ago. These are pretty cool. They're cheap. They're fixable. But there's these little Patriot mini drones here. Um, and it has a little ball shooter, grabber, and then we set up obstacle courses outside in the wintertime. And yeah, so We fly those. When he gets more comfortable and better pilot with that, I might be consider investing in a more higher quality drone. But we have two of those. I have one and he has one. We do drone racing with a course in the backyard, different drone racing things. So pretty cool. Let's go back to the scope here. All right, so let's take a look at our balls. All right, so not bad looking. Let's see if it comes off here. All right, the chip is definitely stuck on there. Let's take a look at that again. So that's what it looks like. Let's add some flux and refloat them. So we're gonna add some flux. I'm gonna turn the fume extractor back on. Okay, so there we go. We have nice, even, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say what everybody else says. So I'm going to clean this stencil real quick. Just because I clean as I go. I try to tell people if you're going to do this, if you learn to clean as you go, you're gonna you're gonna go a lot. It's gonna be a lot more effective than like cleaning once a week or once a month or however often you clean. You just do your little bit. You got stuff cooling down, like that chip's cooling down. I'm gonna clean up a little bit. So I'm gonna come in with my little mascara brush here, scrub that down. All right. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. We'll use the new tweezers to pick it up. All right, so, and see, I could just walk away, but I'm gonna clean this this vise right here. All right, so there we go. So let's take a look at what we have here. Put the X in the middle. Let's put this there, and let's check this out. So there we go. Let's look at it at an angle here. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hey, that was my first one. I use Kester 6337 leaded solder on reels. I get it from Amazon, and I use let's see, let's go to this right here. So I use for flux for BGA work, and like if I put that chip down, I would use the Chipquik SMD 291. If I just need to reflow the balls and I know that I'm going to clean the chip afterwards and clean the board afterwards, I would use the Kingbo RMA 218. I would use this Kingbo RMA 218. So I'll use this if I know I'm going to be able to clean the board and leave no flux on the board. And there, Chipquik you can get on Amazon. Chipquik Flux is fantastic. I love this stuff. Some people hate it because it's real sticky. You need to clean the board when it's hot. But I swear by it. I mean, I really do. People go with Amtech, and you know, sure, I don't like Amtech. I don't care for it. It's too hard to get the real stuff. You know, you think you're buying it, and then you buy it, and it is the real stuff, and then you buy it again from that person, and then you get the fake stuff. So, yeah, it's just I don't know what it is with Amtech. It's like it must it was like it's like a craze with Amtech. It's people are using it because it's cool to use Amtech. I don't know. Um, I've always used Chipquik. We used Chipquik for years and years and years. It was fine. My old job, they switched to Amtech, and they're switching back to Chipquik. They have like 3 cases of Amtech left. When they go through with it, they already have cases of Chipquik Flux. So I was glad because I get my Flux from them, and I thought I was going to have to buy it from Amazon. But yeah, so yeah, um, this is supposedly Amtech Flux that I bought from a seller that has a YouTube channel, and I don't believe it's real Amtech. It burns real bad. It doesn't. I don't know. It's not, in my opinion, it's not very good, but that's my opinion. I mean, people do great work with Amtech Flux, and more power to them. That's fine. Um, I was talking to I don't know if I was talking to Phil or one of my Patreons about this. Um, Pick a flux and stick with that flux. Learn how that flux behaves under heat. Like with Chipquik SMD 291, I know with my air, no matter what temperature my hot air is on, when that Chipquik starts to bubble up and goes real thin and viscous, then um the solder is right there ready to flow. And if it's unleaded a little bit after that, I just wait a little bit longer and it's going to flow. And I can get the chip down and with minimal um, heat on the board because I know how my flux is going to react. Um, Kingbo, I haven't used it enough to know, it bubbles, so you know it's gonna flow. But with Chipquik, it's like it's second nature. Like I start to see a bubble, and then I see the chip pop in alignment, and then I tap the chip. It's really what you're familiar with. It's like Hacko equipment. Microwave Made Repair uses Weller, and we have a war, Hacko versus Weller. If I started in this business using Weller, I would probably still use Weller. Weller is a fantastic product. I'm used to Hacko. I use Hacko stuff. So I'm not going to learn how new equipment works just to jump on a craze of new equipment. Um, I believe there is nothing wrong with Weller. I think if you are starting out and you're looking what to get, Weller or Hacko, I say either way, it's an equal bet on it's what you prefer, what you can get replacement tips for, what you can afford, um, you know, and I think they're equally great, But I use Hacko. I've always used Hacko. We used Hacko at work. We use the 3-station Hackos at work with the vacuum desoldering pump. And I never had an issue. I can get tips regularly. So, but there's nothing wrong with Weller. I think Weller's great too. I don't use them. It's not, not my thing. So, well, I cannot believe this whole time I still have an excellent connection on the stream. So, Phil must be super busy because he's not trolling me. I feel neglected. Okay, so we reballed that. I'm surprised at how successful that worked. I really am. I really didn't think that was gonna be that simple. I mean, it reballed it. It's a dead chip. It's not. It's from a dead CPU switch, number 107. So I'm using it as a trial to practice reballing and stuff. So my experiments with reballing the CPU are hit and miss. So I'm still doing experiments on that. I have that going on here. So let us go to liquid damage switch. That's not liquid damage anymore. This is how bad liquid damage this was. Look at this thing. Look at that connector. It's nasty. Saving that as a memento. So here is the board. Here, we're going to take a look at this board. All right, so let's get this underneath the Scooby Whoopy. Let's turn that up. Scoop. So this is the board. From what I understand, it boots. I had no backlight on it, so I need to put a backlight connector. I booted it with an LCD that I took the backlight off of, and it did get the Nintendo logo. It's looking pretty good. Well, this one has a different inductor on it. Someone asked me what that inductor was, and I couldn't pull it because it had a different inductor. So I believe the chips I got in are these chips right here. Yeah, these are the chips, the LCD driver. So, but I was able to, what I believe is save this LCD connector. So it seems to work. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to build a working switch. I'm going to sell the working board with the NAND. I'm going to put the connectors on it, and I'm just going to sell the board and try to recoup my $90. I had to do a lot of rework in BQ. I got to put those two connectors on, and then I got to put these two connectors on. And I'm hoping that if I can just recoup the money I put into it, then I could, I would be fine with that. So I'm looking to sell it, a working board, for $100. Hopefully, I'll put it on eBay when I get the connectors on it. Yeah, I know you're super busy, Phil. You're not swapping all that SSD, are you, Phil? I don't understand why people use. Yeah, I don't understand why people use Amtech at all. Another issue with Amtech is they allow them. Oh, that's weird, Diego. That's crazy. You staying safe in Brazil, Diego? I hear on the news that it's not doing too good there. I hope you're being safe. Okay, so and here's the issue. Here's my thing with this scope. So I got the Amscope set up here, and I got this board under here, and we're looking at these missing connectors, right? So I got these connectors I got to put on. So how am I going to put these connectors on? Well, I need to heat the board from the bottom. So, working on customer stuff. Sounds interesting. So I gotta raise the board, and I gotta heat it from underneath, and the Amscope's gonna be so high off the table that I can't do that. So we are gonna put the Amscope away, and I have a button for it on the Stream Deck now. I actually did something with my Stream Deck, and I have the N and Star Scope that I can use for connectors and whatnot. So let's get this bad boy set up. So I'm going to get my Hakko Omnivice that has a USB port stuck in it for leveling it out evenly. And I'm going to put said board in said holder like so. And I'm going to go over here and focus it. Focus. And I'm going to switch to the engine star. There we go. Connectors. So I'm not sure if I wicked these or switched them over to leaded solder. So that is what's going to happen right now. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to get me my 6337 Kester leaded solder. And we're going to add a little bit of that garbage flux because I'm just cleaning the board. I'm not a waster. I won't throw things away, but I will use it for garbage stuff just to get rid of it. So that's what this flux is. It's garbage flux. It's used for things like this. So I'm going to let my iron heat up to 450C. This is the FX951 powering the FM 2027 with a smallish bevel tip. So add some solder to this. This tip is awful. Mix in a little bit of leaded on here. Come over here, this one. It is a different skill set going back and forth between the two connectors. Or going back and forth between the two microscopes, sorry. And look, I got a solder bridge there. So I'm going to add a little bit more flux to this. I wasn't paying attention and I got a solder bridge. There we go. All right, so see how that flux burnt like that? You see that nasty burnt flux on there? That is what that flux does, and I hate it. That's the one thing I hate about that flux. So I'm going to clean that off, and I'll show you. So that flux burnt on there, and it's disgusting. So that stuff just burnt right on there. And it gave me crappy puffy pillows. So I'm going to have to touch that up. So I'm going to clean the board off, get all that nasty flux off of there. And then now I'm supporting the board with my thumb as I work on it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Chip Quik SMD 291. I'm going to put way too much on the board because I forgot I swapped my nozzle. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just touch up those pads a little bit. There we go. Touch those up. See how that Chip Quik didn't burn? Stuff didn't burn at all. So, and then we're going to get it off the board while it's still hot. That's the only downside of the Chip Quik. But it will go in the ultrasonic cleaner. All right, so I'm going to get a connector out. That's a backlight connector. Should have one in my box here. Yingzi, what's going on? Allie, how's it going? If I didn't say hi to you earlier. Yeah, that tip is garbage. That tip is garbage, beyond garbage. That tip has been garbage since I got it. Hey, Travis, how's it going? I'm waiting for it to die so I have a justification to buy a new one. I'm hoping it burns up and dies. I've used temp tinner on it twice. See what I mean? Okay, let's examine this tip here. Let's look at this tip. So this is the tip. It's nasty. It's horrible. It doesn't take solder. I got it to take solder. When I got it brand new, it takes solder there, but it doesn't stick to it. No matter how I clean it, like I can clean it, I can flood it with solder, and it won't take any solder. So I used tip tinner on it, and it got it to where I can use it a little bit. I mean, it started as junk, and it's still junk. So I'm going to use the tip tinner again and see if I can get it all cleaned up here. Let's see if that's any better. See, it sticks to that one side, but it won't stick to the other. It does stick to the bottom now. See, it's a little bit better, but you know, the more I do it, the you know, you can go into this rejuvenating a tip, but what's your major study, Jason? I worked in the field. I learned electronics and engineering in the field. I took classes and stuff, but mostly on the specific job that I did. I took electronics in high school and a little bit in community college, but I mean, I basically did learned on the job from a German engineer that taught me what I needed to do and how to solve problems and approach problems. That's all engineering and electronics is the ability to look at a problem, approach the problem, and solve the problem. So the tip looks better. Hate using tip tinner for that. Okay, there you go. Tip looks better. There you go. See, tip looks better. It's the only bevel tip I get. I gotta get some bevel tips, but I'm having a hard time finding them here, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's get this under the scope and focus it. Okay, so backlight connector. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. All right, so we got our backlight connector. All right, so we got our backlight connector. I'm going to put a little bit of Chipquik SMD 291 down, just like so. Drop the backlight connector. Stick that in that sticky flux. Now, there we go. So that's lined up there basically. So I'm going to take my air back up to, well, not that. Take my air back up to 480 and my airflow about 60 out of 175 out of 120. And then I'm going to come in here from the bottom, let my air heat up. I'm going to get these tweezers back out. Here's your tweezer test right here. I'm testing the blue tweezers again. So let's get this here. see if we can melt this connector in there here. And hopefully we're going to see that pull into place because it is leaded solder. So it should melt before the unleaded solder on the board. Nope. Come on. Go home. Go home to your pads. Come on, go home to your pads. I truly hate connectors. There we go. I'm going to take off the heat. So that is on there. If I have to touch up the pins, I'll touch up the pins. So let's see, we got, did you get my text? I haven't got a text for Wizzy or Twizzy. I haven't got a text. Or I didn't respond to your last text. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I will text you today. Yeah, I like my chip quick. Oh no, Jinxie said, did Phil get my text? Oh, I can't read. So, did I say hello to Jinxie? You can't harass my wife for a coffee, Jinxie. She's still asleep. So, let that cool down. I don't want it to cool too much, so I'm going to come in here with my little mascara brush. I'm going to lightly brush the area. Lightly brush the area. All right, so we're going to let that get a little bit of air in there. All right, so got that cleaned off. Let's go back to this camera and let's turn that off. Get that dumped out of the way. Get that out of the way. Get the board out. All right, so that's probably a good zoom. All right, let me just pick up a little bit here so I don't get flustered. I gotta put a different needle on that chip quick flux. It's coming out too fast. All right, so I need this box because it has my testing housing in it. That works. This is my tester. Now, all I need to do is know that this boots. I'm not selling it with anything but the board and the NAND. And from my last test, it should be fine unless I just wrecked it. Who knows? So, all right. So let's make sure that's up. So let's plug that in there. So this was severely liquid damaged, guys. So I don't have high hopes for it. But we're gonna find out. Why does my test housing have speakers in it? Doesn't need more. Doesn't need more. Okay, so we got the backlight. We need that. All right. All right, so we got that in there. Let's plug in our backlight connector. Hopefully got all the flux cleaned out of it. Okay, I definitely used the wrong connector. So, yay me on that one. So, yeah, so that's that. I used the wrong connector. I used a power connector and not a backlight connector. Wow, way to go. See? We all make mistakes, guys. You just own up to the mistake and don't try to hide it. But I put a power connector on there instead of a backlight connector, and I'll show you why I did that. So let's go to my box here, and I will. Yeah, you could do it with an iron. I might do this one far away. Yeah, she is. So if you look here, I labeled that power backlight connector when that is not the backlight connector. I believe this is the backlight connector, the one that's not labeled. Where's my tweezers? So I believe that is the backlight connector. Let's see if that is the backlight connector. No, that's not it either. So it looks pretty similar to the power connector. Not the same as the power connector. It is. Okay, maybe I'm crazy. Hold on a minute. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm going to clean this out. I'm going to clean that connector out. Maybe it's full of flux. Just using a little contact cleaner. I hate that stuff. I say this every time I use it. I really do. I despise contact cleaner. But it does work on cleaning connectors out. All right. I don't think that that's the wrong connector because it looks like the one that's on here. Maybe it was dirty. I melted it, one of the two. So I'm just going to try to plug it in first. And I'll plug in the LCD if I can get it to plug in. Okay, it goes in there. Okay, I don't know. I'm crazy, I guess. It's a little tight. Could still be just dirty with flux. Could still be just dirty with flux. We're going to find out. So let's try this now. If it's the wrong connector, I'm going to have to take one off a donor board and find out if it's the right one or not. I don't even know why I'm fishing that cable out. Okay, so let's look up. Okay, well, fantastic. This board just keeps getting worse. Power connector's broken too. Wow, this is the board. I get the brushes from Amazon. They're disposable mascara brushes. So this is the switch that keeps on crapping out. The power connector's dead on it too. So I have to do what Phil did and change that power connector. But I'm going to do it with an iron. I'm not going to do it with hot air. All right. See if I can get it to turn on with the charger here. Okay, charger turns on. It's charging to it. Yep, see, I got the screen and backlight. So, and it boots. So the board's good. I might just sell it as a known good board and not worry about the connectors. I know Micro Mage Repair wanted a board for a known good board and he didn't care about connectors. So I might just sell it saying it's missing some connectors, but it boots and I'll use the video to show it. So there we go. It charges, it boots. There you go. If you want a known good switchboard that's missing some connectors, $90 to $100. Be on eBay soon. So yeah, I think I'm going to use an iron to do it with the connector, the power connector at least, or put a new latch on it. I'll have to look at it. I'm not going to do it right now. It's been 2 hours. You guys normally get 40 minutes out of me, and you got 2 hours out of me today, guys. So, but that's fixed. I'm going to disconnect the battery from it. So that's that one that was really liquid damage, number 1008. I'm not going to put it together, and because if I have to do the rest of the connectors, the game card reader, the screen, the LCD, the digitizer, the case, the aluminum case, by the time I replace all that, there's no way I can recoup the money that was put into it. So I believe I'm just going to try to make what I can off a board only sale. If I have to replace the connectors, I'll replace the connectors. I'm not wanting to, but I'll replace the connectors, run it through ultrasonic, and then post it as a board only. If you're interested in it as it is with no connectors or not those connectors, you can send me an email. Links in the description. Yeah, the Joy-Con ones, no, but I think a power one you could do with an iron because it's just the 4 pins, not the Joy-Con ones. Since you're here, Micromage, you were interested in this board. The power connector's damaged, and then it just needs the 2 Joy-Con rails and the speaker on this side. But it boots. Everybody just witnessed it boot. So, but yeah, send me an email if you're interested in it. Let me know. So, wow, that camera is just having a heart attack, isn't it? What is this camera doing? Camera was literally having a heart attack. Okay, so that's it for me, guys. I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you all stopping by the stream. I think this was one of my better streams, people-wise. A lot of interaction. I appreciate it. I didn't get to every single tool, but I will eventually in videos and reviews and things like that. I'm glad you guys got to see number 1008 fire up and boot after you guys watched all those videos of the horrible liquid damage. So thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Thank you.